Have you ever wondered why some people seem to earn instant respect, foster deep trust, and maintain calm relationships, while others struggle with constant misunderstandings and hurt feelings? In this story, we'll explore how the words you choose, the secrets you keep, and the silence you embrace can profoundly influence your life. Continue reading until the very end and you'll discover not just how to avoid careless mistakes in your daily interactions, but also how to create an environment where honesty, empathy, and inner peace thrive. By reading this story in full, you'll learn practical ways to protect your well-being, nurture the bonds you share with loved ones, and ultimately enjoy a more harmonious, meaningful life. If you enjoy this story, please share it with others who might benefit from these valuable lessons. Never share what isn't yours to tell. Sarah never shared private matters that weren't hers to tell. It was one of the simplest yet most profound rules of respect she lived by. Everyone cherishes their private sanctuary, a haven that goes far beyond walls and roofs. This space isn't just physical, it's an intimate, sacred corner of the heart where thoughts, dreams, and vulnerabilities rest. Sarah thought of private matters as a protective cloak. Much like clothing shields the body, these secrets and personal stories aren't just words. They're pieces of a person's soul wrapped tightly to guard against harsh judgment. She often imagined how she would feel if her deepest fears or treasured memories were carelessly handed to others. It would hurt deeply. A violation of trust cuts deeper than words can express. Others feel that same pain when their confidence is betrayed. When Sarah chose to keep someone's private matters safe, she wasn't only preserving their dignity, but also building profound trust and mutual respect. Trust is fragile, like a delicate glass ornament, easily broken but incredibly difficult to restore. Revealing someone's secrets might seem small at the moment, but the aftermath is often permanent. Lost respect, damaged relationships, and lingering dishonor. On the other hand, protecting someone's confidence was a gift Sarah gave not only to them but also to herself. It reflected a maturity and grace that few possess. There is beauty in silence, in choosing to step back and let others guard their own stories. This quiet strength has a way of returning, often bringing unexpected blessings. Ultimately, the choice belongs to each person. Honor the trust placed in you and show the depth of your character, or risk losing something far more valuable than fleeting gossip. It's a decision that defines who you are and what relationships you want to build. Let respect guide your actions, and you will create bonds that stand the test of time, radiating the quiet beauty of true integrity. Never speak harsh words. In anger. When anger took hold of James, it often felt like a storm raging within, pushing him to say things he didn't truly mean. In those moments, his words became razor sharp, cutting deep into the hearts of those he cared about. Harsh words spoken in anger provided a brief release for James, but for those receiving them, they left lasting scars, wounds that might never fully heal no matter how much time passed. Think about it. Have you ever unleashed words in the heat of anger only to feel regret later? James had, and the guilt that followed was like carrying a stone in his heart. The memory of the hurt he caused lingered, making him wish he could turn back time and take it all back. But words once spoken cannot be unspoken. They carry power, permanence, and the ability to either build or destroy. This is why in moments of anger, James learned the best response was not to speak at all. It took immense strength to hold his tongue when every part of him wanted to lash out. Yet silence in anger isn't weakness, it is wisdom. Remaining silent allowed the storm inside James to pass. It gave him time to breathe, to reflect, to let logic reclaim the space that emotion had briefly taken over. Silence felt unnatural in those moments, but it became a gift to himself and those around him, a shield that protected relationships and his peace of mind. Anger is brief, but its consequences can be permanent. Relationships that took years to nurture can shatter in seconds by hasty words. Silence, however, allows us to pause, to preserve what truly matters. James learned this the hard way, through moments where he said too much too quickly and was left to pick up the pieces of connections he had unintentionally harmed. He also experienced the transformative power of restraint, where choosing silence over reaction helped preserve harmony and understanding. The next time anger surges within you, resist letting it speak for you. Take a deep breath. Let the heat cool. Remind yourself that words hold immense power. They can heal, but they can also harm. By choosing silence in the face of anger, you're not only protecting those around you, you're also protecting yourself from regret and heartbreak. Silence isn't just a pause. It's an act of love, compassion, and emotional courage. Never judge another's character. Hastily in daily life, it's almost second nature for people to form judgments based on what they see, hear, or assume. But how often do they pause to consider if what they know is the complete picture? There's profound truth in saying you cannot understand another person's story unless you've walked in their shoes. And yet, how rarely do we take that walk or even attempt to imagine it? This idea is vividly illustrated in Michael's experience, a story that resonates deeply with human judgment, loss, and empathy. One quiet afternoon, Dr. Chen hurriedly put on his white coat and rushed to the hospital for an emergency surgery. The call came unexpectedly. He wasn't scheduled that day, but the child on the operating table was critically ill and time was precious. In the waiting room outside the operating theater, Michael, the boy's father, paced anxiously. His worry quickly turned to frustration, then anger as he waited for the doctor to arrive. When Dr. Chen finally appeared, Michael lashed out. "Why did it take so long? Don't you realize this is life or death? Saving my son's life is more important than whatever you were doing at home." The doctor, maintaining composure, replied gently, "I'm sorry. Today was not my scheduled day, but I came as soon as I was contacted. Please try to stay calm while I prepare for surgery." But Michael, blinded by fear and pain, wasn't ready to listen. "Stay calm? Would you say that if your child were on the table? How could you possibly understand what I'm going through? If you were in my place, you'd know the terror of losing someone you love." Dr. Chen said nothing. He simply turned and entered the operating room. For hours he worked tirelessly, performing delicate surgery that would ultimately save the boy's life. When he finally emerged, his face was pale with exhaustion, but he offered Michael a faint smile. "Your son is out of danger now. Thank goodness. If you have further questions, the nurse will help you." Without waiting for thanks, the doctor left quickly. Michael's anger, though less intense, still simmered. "How arrogant," he muttered. "He saved my son but didn't even have the decency to explain more. How can someone be so cold?" Hearing this, the nurse standing nearby could no longer hold back her tears. "Sir," she said, her voice trembling, "Dr. Chen lost his only child in an accident yesterday. Today was the funeral, but when we called, he left immediately to come here. Now that the surgery is done, he's returned to mourn his child. If you're still reading this story and find these lessons useful, please share it with others who might benefit." Michael was stunned into silence. His anger dissolved, replaced by shame and sorrow. How cruel his words must have seemed to someone quietly bearing such a heavy burden. He realized too late that he had mistaken composure for indifference and duty for detachment. In truth, the doctor's actions had been heroic, putting aside personal pain to save another's child. This story carries an essential lesson. We can never truly know what lies behind someone's actions, words, or silence. Every person carries unseen battles, hidden sorrows, and private struggles. Judging them based on brief interactions or surface impressions only reveals our lack of understanding. In moments like these, how much better to offer patience, kindness, and the benefit of doubt. When we judge others hastily, we not only risk causing them deep pain, but also deny ourselves the opportunity to grow in empathy. Imagine stepping into their shoes. Would we have their strength, their grace under pressure? Would we carry our burdens as quietly and courageously? Likely not. Instead of rushing to criticize, let us learn to pause. A kind word, a moment of understanding, or even silence can heal wounds we cannot see. Hasty judgments, however, can leave scars that may never heal. Compassion and respect are among the most valuable gifts we can give, and the world would be kinder if we offered them more freely. So the next time you're tempted to judge someone, remember Michael's story. Consider what might lie beneath their actions and choose gentleness instead. In doing so, you honor not only them but the humanity we all share. 4. Never use words that damage. Someone's honor words hold immense power. They can build bridges or burn them to the ground. They are like seeds, capable of growing kindness or breeding resentment. When used maliciously, words can pierce a person's soul, leaving scars that may never fully heal. More than that, harsh words reveal not strength but a painful lack of grace and character in the person speaking them. They echo inner insecurity, a desperate attempt to feel superior by belittling another, but in the end they achieve nothing but hurt for both the speaker and listener. When Emma chose to attack someone's honor with cruel words, she stripped them of dignity while tarnishing her own. The respect others had for her began to fade, replaced by caution and distance. Words meant to wound didn't just harm relationships, they turned her into someone people avoided, as if she carried an emotional poison no one wanted near their heart. Emma had seen people who thrived on venomous speech, thinking it made them powerful, only to find themselves lonely and bitter, surrounded by walls they unknowingly built. It's important to remember that destructive words don't solve problems. They magnify them. They don't enhance life. They shrink it, pulling you further from connection and peace. In moments of anger, it can feel tempting to let harsh words slip, but think of the cost: broken trust, hurt feelings, and the burden of regret. A single, careless sentence can unravel years of understanding and closeness. That's why choosing kind words isn't just courtesy, it's an act of strength and wisdom. As the old saying goes, a slip of the tongue can bring disaster. This reminds us to pause, breathe, and think before speaking. Imagine a world where everyone practiced this simple discipline. How much more love, respect, and harmony would exist? Kindness in speech isn't just a gift to others, it's a gift to yourself, creating a life filled with warmth and goodwill rather than bitterness and regret. Never judge someone's family. Background. Have you ever paused to consider how none of us have the power to choose the circumstances we're born into? It's a profound truth that wealth, poverty, privilege, or hardship are all outcomes of fate, not personal choice. A person's upbringing may shape their journey, but it doesn't define their worth. What truly matters, what truly reveals the depth of someone's soul, is their character, integrity, and capacity for kindness. Wealth, no matter how vast, can be meaningless if it resides with someone whose heart is selfish and greedy. Imagine a mansion filled with treasures but devoid of compassion. It's nothing more than an empty shell. On the other hand, even someone with little to their name who extends a helping hand can possess a wealth of spirit that no money could ever buy. Isn't it remarkable how some of the most inspiring, resilient, and selfless people often come from the humblest beginnings? Peter understood this truth deeply. Money is transient. It ebbs and flows like the tide. A person basking in wealth today may face poverty tomorrow. This is why it's dangerous to measure someone's value by financial standing. To despise someone for their poverty or idolize someone for their riches is to miss what makes us human. Wealth is fleeting, but a generous spirit, a kind heart, and unwavering integrity have enduring impact. So judge people not by their bank account or family status, but by how they treat others when no one is watching. True wealth lies in humility, compassion, and the ability to uplift those around us. Life taught Peter this. It is the nobility of character that leaves a legacy, not coins or bills left behind. Money fades, but the goodness of a person's heart echoes forever. Let us value what truly matters. Never scorn. Another's education or knowledge life is a tapestry woven from countless unique threads, each representing individual strengths and weaknesses. Just as you wouldn't pit a fish against a cat in swimming, or expect a turtle to match a rabbit's speed, it's unfair to measure others by a single standard, especially regarding education and knowledge. True wisdom lies in understanding that education isn't the ultimate yardstick of a person's value. A degree, title, or expertise may reflect accomplishments but cannot capture the richness of experience, depth of character, or kindness of spirit. Some of the most profound lessons come from unlikely teachers, children, elders, or those society overlooks. To look down on someone else's knowledge or education exposes cracks in your understanding. Lisa noticed that people who criticize or belittle others often carry the weight of their insecurities, projecting fears outward. In contrast, truly wise individuals embrace humility. They recognize that no matter how much they know, there's always more to learn. The willingness to listen and eagerness to learn mark a person who values growth over pride. Beware of falling into self-satisfaction, a dangerous place where you stop growing, questioning, and evolving. It's easy to criticize others, but that energy is better spent nurturing your growth. Instead of fixating on others' shortcomings, redirect focus inward. Strive to improve yourself, treat others with respect, and extend kindness wherever possible. There's something deeply beautiful about valuing others not for accolades or achievements, but for their humanity. By respecting those around you and remaining curious about the world, you not only cultivate growth but also earn respect and admiration from witnesses to your actions. Life is a journey of mutual learning. Embrace it with an open heart, and you'll discover wisdom in the most unexpected places. Never boast or exaggerate. It's tempting to boast or exaggerate when feeling the need to prove worth to others. But have you noticed how those who boast often gain fleeting admiration at best, only to lose respect over time? Thomas learned that boasting and exaggeration are like wrapping oneself in illusion, beautiful at first glance, but eventually the fabric tears, revealing truth underneath. Truth, no matter how deeply buried, has a way of surfacing, much like a hidden needle eventually poking through. At first, people might be drawn to the grandeur of exaggerated words, but with time, the facade crumbles. Those who once listened with admiration may turn away, their trust broken, their perception diminished. Trust, once lost, is so hard to rebuild. As someone valuing authenticity, Thomas believed the loudest truths are spoken through actions, not words. A quiet, consistent display of character and results can echo louder than the grandest claims. Think about it. Have you met someone who quietly achieved greatness? Their success doesn't need a spotlight because their work speaks for itself. Truly wise individuals never feel the need to shout their worth. They let accomplishments stand tall, unshaken by doubt or scrutiny. They remind us of the earth itself, silent, grounded yet eloquent in how it supports all life. In a world celebrating loudness and glitter, it takes courage to embrace quiet confidence. When focusing on doing rather than talking, you cultivate lasting respect. People notice not because you tell them, but because your deeds demand recognition. Isn't that the respect we all seek, the kind genuinely earned? So when feeling the urge to boast, pause and ask, what am I truly seeking? If it's validation, remember that success itself is the best answer. Let actions do the talking. Let your work shine so brightly that words become unnecessary. Authenticity, after all, is the greatest gift you can offer the world and yourself.
8. Never waste effort. Explaining your sincerity, life often feels like a vast, winding road where not everyone we meet will see the world as we do, nor walk beside us in harmony. It can be deeply disheartening to pour sincerity into someone only
to find it dismissed, ignored, or misunderstood. But here's a truth both liberating and painful. Not everyone is meant to understand you, and that's okay. Those who truly care, those who value who you are, will never demand lengthy explanations. They see your heart through actions, kindness, and how you show up in the world. On the other hand, those unwilling or unable to understand remain closed off no matter how desperately you try to bridge the gap. Words fall on deaf ears when the heart refuses to listen. Instead of wasting precious energy trying to win over people who misunderstand you, Olivia focused on living with unshakable integrity. She let actions speak louder than words. Over time, truth has a way of shining through, often more brightly than imagined. When it does, those who doubted may see misconceptions in new light, or they may not. Either way, she remained steadfast, unbothered by judgment. When faced with misunderstanding, Olivia chose calm over conflict, holding inner peace like a treasure that cannot be taken. Silence in those moments isn't weakness, it's strength. Quiet, dignified strength that says, I know who I am and don't need your approval for validation. There's immense power in refusing to be pulled into unnecessary battles, in staying rooted in values even when others don't recognize their worth. Life will always test patience, resilience, and ability to let go of what cannot be controlled, but it also rewards with self-respect and serenity for those who learn this lesson. Your worth doesn't depend on anyone's understanding, but your own. Trust that the right people, those meant to walk your path, will always see the beauty of your sincerity without explanation. Never make unnecessary requests of others. Life is a delicate balancing act where each person carries unique responsibilities, struggles, and aspirations. When we repeatedly impose needs on others without true necessity, we unknowingly place burdens on their shoulders and risk wearing down bonds over time. Even the most patient and caring individuals may begin to feel taken for granted, and connections once unshakable quietly erode. If you find these lessons useful, please share them with others who might benefit. Relying on others too often doesn't just strain relationships, it can chip away at self-worth. True love and care manifest when people willingly help in moments of genuine need. That doesn't mean testing their limits by leaning on them for every small thing. The beauty of receiving help lies in its sincerity, and that beauty fades when taken for granted. To foster enduring relationships, Nathan prioritized self-reliance. When you handle what you can on your own, it's empowering not only for yourself, but also for those around you. You show them you value their time while nurturing a sense of accomplishment within yourself. True independence is a quiet triumph that inspires respect and admiration from others. Words are mirrors of the heart. There's an unspoken truth about words. They reveal the depth of our soul. The ancient Roman writer Publilius Cyrus famously said, "Speech is the mirror of the soul." How often do we pause to consider how our words shape the world around us? The way we communicate daily, whether harshly, thoughtlessly, or with warmth and grace, serves as a reflection of who we truly are. Those who are wise and kind use words sparingly, choosing instead to infuse them with meaning and beauty. A single kind word can light up someone's heart, while harsh speech can leave scars that linger for years. Beautiful words cost nothing but bring immeasurable joy. When we cannot muster kindness, silence becomes a powerful ally. Silence, when practiced with intention, becomes a shield against conflict and a gateway to deeper understanding. In quiet moments, we hear not only others' voices but also our heart's whispers. Choosing when to speak and when to listen is an art bringing peace to our inner world and relationships. A personal note to you: life often feels like a relentless, upstream journey where each stroke brings challenges that seem insurmountable. The winds of hardship may howl and waves may threaten to capsize us, but here's a truth learned with time: you don't have to fight every current. As we grow older, we realize some battles are best left unfought. Instead, we slow down, embrace life's rhythm, and learn to let go of what we cannot control. There's indescribable peace in this surrender, a warmth from treating yourself with the same kindness you've always shown others. Here are 5 key reminders for finding peace and health in your golden years. Keep your ears quiet. In Confucius's Analects, there's a profound saying, "At 60, I could hear without being upset." These simple yet powerful words carry a lifetime of wisdom. By 60, you've traversed life's tumultuous waves, experiencing joy, sorrow, triumph, and failure. These years shape you, teaching you to distinguish between what truly matters and what is mere noise. You begin to understand that not every word spoken deserves attention or reaction. In youth, our ears often act as an open door, letting in everything: praise, criticism, gossip, and insult. The sting of a careless remark could easily ignite anger or leave wounds. How many sleepless nights were wasted replaying harsh words or imagining conversations that never truly mattered? Yet as we grow wiser, we discover the profound strength of selective hearing. We learn to listen to kindness and wisdom while letting baseless criticism fade into silence. Life is too short, too precious to be distracted by petty opinions or harmful gossip. When such negativity takes root, it robs us of peace, joy, and even health. Choosing silence in the face of provocation isn't weakness, it's quiet triumph, testament to a calm heart's resilience. David saw this lesson not as restriction, but as liberation. Keeping ears quiet means reclaiming focus and protecting your inner sanctuary, recognizing that what others say often reveals more about them than you. When irrelevant words no longer invade our peace, we discover unexpected serenity. Imagine a still lake, its surface perfectly reflecting the sky, unmarred by ripples. This is the gift of a quiet heart. When your soul remains undisturbed by unnecessary noise, the world feels surprisingly beautiful. Conversations become richer, relationships more meaningful, and small joys more profound because attention isn't consumed by what doesn't matter. David is reminded daily of the freedom this wisdom brings, a form of self-care and self-respect, a gentle reminder that we guard our own peace. So keep your ears quiet, not from indifference but from love for the tranquility life can offer when you tune out noise. Let the world's chaos flow past, leaving you with the music of a life well lived. View life with a tolerant eye. Confucius once shared, "The wise seek harmony but do not necessarily conform." This wisdom reminds us that everyone carries unique dreams, values, and choices woven into their life's fabric. The key to inner peace is embracing this diversity without forcing our beliefs onto others. When young, impatience and expectations lead to frustration when the world doesn't align with our ideals. It's easy to believe our way is right, but time teaches a humbling lesson. No two journeys are the same. By opening hearts and minds to the rich variety of human experiences, Anna lightened emotional weight and created space for empathy and understanding. Cultivating tolerance is like planting seeds of joy and gratitude in your soul. Instead of dwelling on flaws or negatives, make conscious effort to see surrounding beauty. When you pause to admire simple elegance, green leaves swaying or vibrant, red flowers, you're reminded of quiet miracles. These moments of appreciation fill you with gratitude, uplifting spirit and helping see life in its true, radiant form. Tolerance isn't just about others, it's about your peace. By letting go of judgment and embracing acceptance, you create a life that feels lighter, freer, and beautiful. In this practice, you don't just coexist, you thrive. 3. Value your meals and care for yourself. There's timeless truth in saying, being able to eat is a blessing. For older individuals, the joy of a delicious meal is one of life's simplest yet most profound pleasures. It's not just about nourishment, it's about honoring the body that has carried you through decades of challenges, triumphs, and experiences. Food, in its humble way, becomes a celebration of life, a reminder that even small, everyday acts hold extraordinary meaning. As we age, it's easy to fall into excessive frugality, prioritizing saving over self-care. But what good is wealth if health deteriorates? No amount of money can buy back vitality and comfort lost through neglect. You deserve better. You've spent years caring for others, meeting responsibilities, and sacrificing needs. Isn't it time to give yourself the love you freely gave others? Anxiety, worry, or stress can be silent thieves of joy and even appetite. Skipping meals or treating food as afterthought harms more than just the body. It robs the soul of connection, gratitude, and fulfillment. Each bite taken is an act of self-compassion, a promise that you're worth caring for and your presence matters. So take a moment to savor meals, feel textures, enjoy flavors. Let the experience remind you of present beauty. Life may not always be grand, but a well-cooked meal enjoyed in peace can be. Eating well isn't just necessity, it's gratitude for life itself. Cherish meals as gifts. Treat yourself with kindness. Live in the now, because these small acts of care add up to a graceful, fulfilling old age. In the end, it's not about how much saved or sacrificed, but how much truly lived and loved yourself along the way. 4. Maintain health by exercising daily. There's an old saying, flowing water does not rot. A constantly turned axle does not get eaten by worms. This simple yet profound metaphor speaks to the natural vitality movement sustains, reminding us that flowing water remains pure and a turning axle avoids decay. The human body is no different. With consistent exercise, we nurture flexibility, strength, and vitality, defying the stagnation that can creep in as we age. Exercise is more than physical activity. It's a celebration of life. No matter your age, movement unlocks countless benefits beyond the body. It energizes the mind, uplifts the spirit, and reminds you of inner resilience. In their 70s or 80s, some embrace morning jogs, yoga's tranquility, or daily walks. These individuals radiate vitality that inspires, proving age isn't a barrier, but testament to willpower and habit. On the other hand, those abandoning movement often find themselves confined to beds, bodies stiffened by inactivity, lives limited by inaction. If you find these lessons useful, please share them with others who might benefit. It's never too late to begin. Robert started small, a gentle stretch, a short stroll, or deep breathing with simple movements. Each drop of sweat became a powerful antidote to aging, revitalizing energy and protecting health. As you move, you're not just strengthening muscles. You're choosing vitality over stagnation, joy over lethargy, independence over frailty. Every step, stretch, or lift is self-love, saying, I deserve to feel alive, strong, and capable. Exercise is a gift we give ourselves, a daily reminder that our bodies are temples worth cherishing. So today, move for your future self, for the joy, health, and energy awaiting tomorrow and years to come. 5. Keep your emotions stable and your mind. Calm life is unpredictable, often veering far from carefully laid plans. Yet isn't that part of its mystery and beauty? When faced with hardships, it's easy to find ourselves trapped in negative emotions that gnaw at both physical health and inner peace. These emotions may feel overwhelming now, but remember, everything, absolutely everything, passes with time. What feels insurmountable today may be nothing more than a faint memory tomorrow. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is the ability to let go. Letting go doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending life is perfect. It means refusing to let difficult moments define your happiness. Adopting a lighter, more joyful attitude isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. Imagine waking each day with an unburdened heart, ready to embrace simple joys around you. That, Maria believed, is the secret to savoring the rest of your life. There's a beautiful saying, time cannot be pursued, nor can years be stopped. It's a humbling reminder that the clock never pauses. Why waste precious energy on trivial matters that won't matter a year from now? Instead, focus on true treasures of this life stage: health, emotional balance, and inner peace. These aren't just nice ideals. They're lifelines to living a meaningful, fulfilled existence. Cherish yourself in this season. Slow down and truly feel each moment. Sunlight on your face, a loved one's laughter, a peaceful evening's stillness. The past, however bittersweet, is unchangeable, but right now, you hold power to shape your experience. Choose peace. Choose joy. Choose a life radiating from inside out. You have the strength within to create this life. You deserve happiness not as an abstract concept, but as daily reality. Take a deep breath. Let go of the unnecessary, and embrace the beautiful time you have left. What have you learned? What have you learned from everything shared today? Reflect on the wisdom of staying calm, letting go, and embracing joy in the present moment. What resonated with you most? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share one thing you've learned from this story that you'll practice in your own life. If you enjoyed this story, please share it with others. Your support means the world to us, and we can't wait to continue this journey of wisdom and growth together. Thank you for reading, and we'll see you next time.